Okay, so how excited are you for blah 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 blah? How excited are you for tonight? I like don't even know what to do with myself. So I want to hear from you. So a few things that we're going to do. There is a chat box. So this is Zoom webinar, and I love it because we get to chat. So I get to see, I get to hear things, I get to see who's on. I'm loving seeing who's on. So for the attendees, guys, this is great. I would love to know who's here, where are you from, any questions that you have, what we're gonna do these. So if you were a part of my 3-week webinar series, which was essentially how to lose weight, be done with dieting, and make peace with food. How do you stop feeling crazy around food, right? If you have been around me, then you know I give and that my content is jam-packed. I'm not about having you come here so you can just hear me talk as I promote 50 things and you're kind of like, I didn't really get anything, and I just spent like 2 hours of my time. So I want you to know that I honor your time. I think time is the most precious thing that we have. Anytime I have the beautiful gift of getting to meet one of the women from my community, I always say my desire in life is that anybody that comes across my path is left for the better. Whether it's a smile, a hug, words of wisdom, holding a door, but something. And so getting to have this time with you, honestly, I don't take it lightly. So I put so much time and energy into planning this week and into honestly planning these next 3 weeks. So a few things that I want you to know as a part of this 3-week webinar series, it's 3 weeks, 3 classes. So I really like to do things where they stack so that you don't feel inundated, because what I do know as dieters, and one, you're just women, right? So we're busy. We got lots on the plate. And it's how can you get the most bang for your buck, right? And you're here for results. You're not here to stay the same. So it's actually placed in a stacking order, just like my last 3-part training series that I did, which you can go to at, write this down, www.melissakathryn.com/video series. If you did not do it, definitely take time to go back and do that. Binge on me on the weekends, not with food, but on me. I'm a lot better at tasting than whatever else you got there. And it's just great, and you're just gonna go, oh my God, there's so many ahas here, and this makes so much sense. Because if there's anything that I want you to know, if you've been struggling with your weight for more than a year, you don't have a weight issue. You're not broken. Your metabolism's not all messed up. There's not all of these things going on. You simply have a relationship with food, and there's gaps. There's a lack of a relationship with yourself, a lack of joy in certain areas of your life. Now, this may seem a bit different. My approach is not like anybody else's. It is completely different, and I also believe that's why it works. And I can also say that if you're here looking for another diet, I'm not your girl. I encourage you to stay on, because I think what I'm going to say to you is going to be like, oh, okay, I had no idea. I was definitely thinking something different. A lot of people will come, and then once they really hear me, they're like, wow, whoa, you're blowing my mind. And this is not what I thought it was. And it's exactly what I need, even though I'm a little bit freaked out. I feel like you're in my head. I get it's like you're in my head all the time, and it's truly because I've been where you are, which for you is amazing, because that means that you are not broken, and there is another side to it. And if I can get there, trust me, girl, you can. Okay. Thanks, Jennifer. So Jennifer's from my team. You're going to see her. She's going to be, just making sure that you're getting everything. If you've been following me for a while, you know that I get uber passionate, which means I get excited, and sometimes I can talk fast. So I love answering questions. I love all of that. And I want to encourage you, please ask questions. I will do my best to answer them. What I am going to do, though, is stick to the content and get to the questions at the end. Should things come up, I will scroll back through them. I want to encourage you to stay on till the end. We love over at here at MK, like we love giving you bonuses, and we love really being in appreciation of those that are here making themselves a priority, and they come live and are committed to themselves. So I like to honor you with special gifts. So stay on till the end and you can find out what those are. Other things I want to tell you, I am Melissa Kathryn. I am the founder of Weight Loss for Life and Done with Dieting, and the creator and founder of just Melissa Kathryn Incorporated, which is the umbrella of all of these programs. I run everything from international retreats to programs that have a global audience, to private elite one-on-one coaching and more. My 4 weeks to fat loss, my Radiance Jumpstart, Weight Loss for Life, and we had Body Bliss. What I'm really, really stoked about is our recent Weight Loss for Life program that's out there now. Along with, I am a best-selling author and speaker, international best-selling author and speaker, and I am a holistic nutritionist with a background as a fitness competitor and fitness expert, was a fashion designer as well. I like to bring that into what I teach and do. I believe women need to look and feel fabulous in their skin at all stages of their journey, not just when they get to their desired destination. You gotta love where you're at all times, and we're gonna talk a little bit about that tonight. Not only am I a nutritionist, but I also have a background and specialize in emotional eating and disordered eating. I'm a hypnotherapist and body intuitive. People always ask, what is a body intuitive? And I'll put it to you this way. I saved my own life from cancer, and it was because of my connection to my body, which is something I teach all my clients to foster. As an intuitive, everybody is intuitive. I've just developed my skill set and had, let's just say, I was born with a deep intuitive nature that I have, like I said, have really worked to develop and use with my clients and in my programs to help my clients to heal more quickly, to get unblocked, to be put into action, and to release them of years where they would spend typically being in therapy or in hypnosis or other things. We do the work that a lot of people do in about 10 years, in about 9 months, sometimes shorter, and definitely in a year's time. So it's really, really, I fast-tracked the coaching world, and I love it. And I chose to be a coach because I believe in it, and I have coaches, and I always will because of, yes. So what I want to tell you is this. As your host here tonight, I am here to support you and be of service. Again, if you guys have any other questions, please post them. I want to dive into tonight's content. I have some special guests for you as well. So there are 3 main points that we're going to be talking about tonight. Also, if you have any questions about my credentials or anything else, and you want to learn more about my story, who I am, how I came to be, go to melissakathryn.com. Stay here right now. Go to melissakathryn.com. Not only do I have resources. I'm the author of Eat Right for Your Archetype and Sip Yourself Slim. Those are 2 of my books that I love and obviously stand behind. I wrote them. You can watch some more of my videos. You can also head over to my YouTube channel. We have my blogs up, my vlogs, along with other books that I recommend, poems that I've written, my about me, so you can learn really about my story. And I will give you a quick synopsis for those of you that are new to me, because I think sometimes we see somebody and we go, what did you ever struggle with? Or, we love to paint these pictures about other people's lives, right? Like they've always had it all figured out. Their life must just be so glamorous and spectacular. And it's amazing. I started my journey at a very young age. I was brought to Weight Watchers by my mom when I was 12. And that was hard. I'm not going to lie. This was like an in-person meeting. I was the youngest person there. I was maybe about 10, 15 pounds overweight. My mom's approval and love was the only persons that I really wanted. And it didn't really seem like I could get that. And it would break her heart. Like when she's heard me say something like that. She's my best friend. I love her more than anything. this was my internal view of the experience, right? So we never want to blame parents or anybody else. So giving you your first coaching, but you always want to know, where did this stem from? Where did this start? And for me, I mean, I wrote in my diary I needed to lose 10 pounds at age 10. And you can also, I'm also a TEDx speaker, so you can find my TED Talk. And where I actually talk more about this, and you actually see like my writing in my diary, right? Like I still have my diary. And so I wanted to tell you that there's a point in time when we're young, when we're really building our confidence within ourselves. And when we are in a space of really loving ourselves, loving our bodies. So it's also from that age, essentially our subconscious mind stops forming after the age of 8. So any beliefs, any things that have happened to you before then are essentially what are driving your choices and decisions today. So I want to kick off our first mindset tip with that. So really hear that. Your subconscious mind stops forming at the age of 8, which means any experiences that you had before the age of 8 are what is driving you as an adult now. So if you were told you weren't good at math, you don't believe you're good at math. That was one of mine. If you were told that you weren't good at sports, if your father didn't show you love, if your mother didn't show you love, if your parents fought a lot and you thought it was your fault, if you didn't have friends, if you had somebody hurt you, if you experienced abuse, neglect, trauma of any kind, you know, and in another one of my webinars that I've sent out recently on the connection between trauma and weight loss, we really went into that trauma does not mean you had to be raped, you know, abused. It can. And there's also trauma where it's somebody calling you fat. You know, if it's traumatic, if it impacted you and it changed your view of yourself and the trajectory of your life. It's traumatic if it changed your view of yourself and the trajectory of your life. Really hear that, okay? So one thing that I really want you to also get is when we're looking at this and when I'm sharing with you more about my story is, you know, that Weight Watchers incident was quite defining for me, as was my mother is a perfectionist. She's releasing this now at age 70, which is a beautiful thing. It kind of confused me at first. I was like, why are you being so calm? Why aren't you nitpicking this and that? And then I was like, oh my God, because I call myself a recovering perfectionist. But for a long time, I lived under being a perfectionist, which meant no matter what you're doing, it's never enough. So I want to clarify. Being a perfectionist does not mean that you look perfect. Being a perfectionist does not mean you have a perfect body. It can. But generally, a perfectionist means that you are always comparing yourself to something, some enigma that does not exist. And you hold yourself to that standard all the time, which means no matter what goals you achieve and no matter what you do, it is never good enough. Okay? So I really want you to hear that. And so if you guys are relating to this, please put some ahas in there, put some hell yes. I love me some hell yes. It's like, yes, I'm relating. Like, oh my God, I have a similar story, or just be like, this girl crazy. I don't know what she's talking about. Because I know that I have clients that are like, Melissa, I had a beautiful life and I don't know why I struggle with my weight. And then one of my superpowers is I get you to the root. We get to the root. We do not live there. And then we get it up and we get it out. This is like one of the first things that we do in our Weight Loss for Life program. So getting back to my story, fast forwarding from that, I never had the quintessential eating disorder, but now that they've come up with so many other ones, so many other terms, I am hands down an emotional eater, or was. I didn't even know what that was. Didn't even realize that was a term. Orthorexia nervosa, absolutely. That was most of my 20s. Which is essentially where, you know, you live in, I'm so healthy that I basically am not eating and I over-exercise, but you have this mask of, but I'm so healthy. So everybody's like, oh my God, she's just so healthy. She's so healthy. But really, it's another form of an eating disorder. and then just plain disordered eating, body dysmorphia. We'll just keep tacking them up. I mean, I was on diet pills for over a decade, I've really done it all, but what it really stemmed from was just a lack of love for myself. And it ended with me being at a fitness competition. You can see my pictures on my website of me, the day of 8% body fat. Within 6 months, I won best body in the International Natural Body Federation. I gained the weight back within about 3 to 6 months time. And why? I'm going to share with you. It won because I never got to the root. Competing was just another diet. So I was, at the time, I was a ideal body coach, transforming people's bodies for a living. Could do it to myself. I did it to myself in under 4 months. Could do it for all these other women. Didn't matter what age they were. I was helping them transform in short periods of time. And what I saw was my clients would come back the way I was coming back. And they would come back gaining the weight after the time was up with me, right? Another diet. Or, and I saw what it was. It wasn't about a diet. If it was just a diet, guys, you all just would have lost weight and never gained it back. That's not what's going on here. So if you've been struggling with your weight for more than a year, there's something deeper, and that's why you're here, okay? So those diets never actually worked for you. So when you're sitting there going, no, but it worked. I mean, I lost the weight. Yeah, and you gained it back. So it was a diet. It wasn't a solution. A solution is you're done, right? A diet is, okay, so now I'm going to try another one and another one. It's the definition of insanity. It has the word die in it. That's why 99.1% of people who lose weight gain it back within 1 year. So if you've been dieting for most of your life, then you've done that over and over and over again. No wonder you feel like like a failure. No wonder you're sitting here going, I'm successful in all these areas of my life. For that hell of me. Why can't I just seem to lose weight? Like, it's a simple thing. You might touch your husband and be like, honey, I just need to lose weight. He's like, eat less, move more. That's what I do. I'll be your accountability partner. Meanwhile, he's losing weight and you're eating behind his back, and putting weight on and resenting him because he doesn't get it, And for those of you that have the husbands that do, I love that. Most of them don't, because they don't have an emotional attachment to food. Right? So even if they get it, they don't get it. Do you know what I mean? Even if they're like, honey, I know you've been struggling. They're still like, okay, but I don't get it because you're amazing. I love you. And I don't see what you see, and that's when you're rejecting their compliments. And right. So fast forward about my story. And then I've got to dive in here is essentially I found myself, binging on health food and beating myself up incessantly. And it was my dirty secret, and it was so much guilt and so much shame. And it wasn't until that fitness competition where I was just like, that's it. I'm done. I'm going to do what it takes. And if it means that I sit here at 15, 20 pounds overweight for a while, but I cannot keep depriving myself of food. Like, I was at the low of the low. Like, there were wrappers in my trash can. I was sobbing. I felt sick the next day because I was still so full from the night before. And it was like I hated myself. And I didn't understand because I was like, no, I love me. Why would I do this? But clearly there was a disconnect. And I didn't understand why, because I come from a great family. I had this beautiful life. What was missing? And, and why was I in this perpetual pain that had become my comfort zone that I was so afraid to leave? Dieting becomes a lifestyle. Sounds nuts, but it does. And it's such a comfort place because as humans, we have a higher threshold for pain than we do for happiness. And as a dieter, your threshold for pain is so high. And the fear of failing is so vast that you'd actually keep living the way that you're living now, then actually step into, oh my God, I'm afraid to feel, or she's going to take the food away. And I'm here to say, like, weight loss for life, anything with me is never about taking the food away. It's actually, we just shift your relationship with it. So then food just becomes food. So one of the first things that I want us to go through tonight is, and step one of this in Mindset Mastery, how I rediscovered myself and lost 10 pounds in a month without giving up bread. That's what we're doing here. 3 weeks, 3 bite-sized classes created to put you into action to get real results in 3 weeks' time. So this first week, Mindset Mastery, I want to repeat it again so you know what we're talking about, how I rediscovered myself and lost 10 pounds in a month without giving up bread. So tonight, I'm going to be showing you how to discover the true you without the weight. 3 keys to master your monkey mind. I mean, come on, how much does that really like? I need that, please, like now. And how to let go of the past, because it's actually the past and bringing the past into the present that's actually detracting you from moving forward. And we're going to talk about that's a tricky one. We're going to talk about it. So I really want you to saddle up. Make sure you have your water. If you could see me, I've got like 10 things of water around me. Make sure you have your water. Make sure you have a journal. I am not one of these coaches with a lot of slides and whatnot. I do videos and I have a lot of resources. In our programs, we do a lot of resources and handouts. I'm more about experiential things on webinars, and I like to stay connected. I'm an energy worker. I feel your energy. I like to know what's going on. When I'm off the screen and slides are up, I feel like I'm disconnected from you. So I don't really personally enjoy that, and I like to be able to feel what's going on. So that's what we're going to do. So I hope you like looking at me. So we're going to be together for some time now. Okay. Discover the true you without the weight. So who are you? Right at the top of your pad of paper. Who are you? How many of you actually don't know who you are? Like you really aren't sure who you are. If you could put in the chats here, how many of you are just kind of like, I don't actually know what makes me happy. I don't know who I am right now. Just let me know that. I find a lot, yeah, Angela. Oh, Linda, thank you, girl. I find that, and Jennifer, I also want to tell you, girl, if you could help, if you could check email, Rebecca just sent a message. She's having a struggle there of getting on. Thank you. If you don't know who you are, this happens a lot in dieting. Reason being is this. Dieting is, again, you guys are going to be hearing things and I really want you to write them down. Dieting has become your identity. I'm just going to sit for a minute and let you really take that in. Okay? Dieting has become your identity because dieting's become your way of life. When you don't feel in control, just think about this. You generally start a new diet. When something's bothering you, you try to control what you're eating and you get really hard on yourself and you create another plan. You take more food out. You draft another workout schedule. All of these different things. Thank you, Jennifer. So I really want you to hear that. It's really important. So when, and I say this too, because when we start, what I'm going to be doing with you over these next 3 weeks is I'm going to get you out of this space. And that's really what I'm working to do. And what happens for people is they kind of go like, this is freaky. What do I do if I'm not dieting? Like dieting takes up all my time. I'm either researching diets, I'm reading diet books. I'm in different Facebook groups about dieting. I'm in the gym. All my friends always talk about being on diets. If I'm not on a diet with them, who am I going to hang out with? What am I going to do? And it kind of goes into a bit of a panic. So I want you to breathe. And I really want you to see this. And yes, and what I want you to hear, she just said, I kind of do the opposite. When something is bothering me, I lose control of my eating. Yes, you will. And then what do? Then you grasp at a diet. So you lose control because you're coping. So what happens is life gets crazy. Your coping mechanism is food. That's how you've learned to cope with life. You use food. And then after you eat so much and you beat yourself up enough and you feel so crappy, then you go to an extreme diet. And then you commit to that for another period of time. And that's what goes on. So that's really the pattern, and that becomes your way of life. So if you take food out of the equation, then what is your coping skill? how are you going to cope with life? Because right now you're using food. That's a freaky place to be. That's why you need support. That's why you need accountability. That's why, like, women in my groups, why do you think I started a free group, right? I was like, I need to give women access. I need them to have this. And in Weight Loss for Life, all the women that got in there that was just in 2017 were like, oh my God, I'm sharing more with these women that are strangers than I have with my best friends and my husband. You know, I'm sharing more about my life and I'm not alone. Oh my God, this is amazing. There's other women just like me. It takes the guilt away. It takes the shame away. All of a sudden you're like, oh my God, there's all these other awesome women going through the same thing and we're going to support each other. You know, those women are like friends till the end, right? And it brings me immense joy. So let's go into this. So I want you to write down, who are you? And if you don't know, I want you to write this down. So right now, who do you believe you are? Write down and answer this question. Who do you believe you are? Who do you believe you are? Do you believe you're meant to struggle? Do you believe that weight loss is hard? Do you believe that you can't have the dreams that you really have? And you can't even permit yourself to dream them because they seem that impossible? Do you believe that you're meant to be overweight? Do you believe that you're meant to have a beautiful marriage, or do you believe that you're not? Well, who do you believe you are? Are you happy? Do you believe you're destined to have challenges and struggles? Do you see yourself as a healthy person? So who do you believe you are versus who you want to be? That's really powerful because oftentimes we're living into who we believe we are, dreaming about who we want to be as if she's not an option. Girl, she's an option. She's just been waiting for you to see her. Okay? This is like what I help people do. This is what I had to do myself. I was petrified to do. Petrified. The idea of being seen was like the death of me. You know, I come from a family where, like, we're super private. Like, no one in my family is online, like on Facebook. Like, it was like, what? You know, I mean, there were so many things. And then I was so critical of myself, insecure, high, such a perfectionist. Nothing was ever good enough. I couldn't show anybody who I was. I wasn't good enough yet. I didn't have the body, and God forbid I went up a pound or two. At 5, 10, oh my God, nobody should see me. And I need to wait until I'm perfect before I can get out there. And I need to do this and I need to do that. And I mean, the list goes on. Who do you believe you are versus who you want to be? So right now, I want you to write down, who do you want to be? And if anybody's having problems or questions with this, you know, or is having a hard time with it, just think about, you know, post, and we'll support you in that. And so you might still be writing, and that's great. I also want you to take these exercises and do them also outside. So make sure you're writing. So 1, who do you believe you are versus who you want to be? Column, who are you? Who do you want to be? I want you to look at that list and see where you're incongruent. Where are you saying that you want one thing and you're showing up another? Are you saying that you want to be fit, but you don't know the last time you worked out? Are you saying that, you know, you want to go back to work, but you're not doing anything about it? Where are we out of integrity? Because the true you is, honestly, who are you without the weight? Take this weight off. what would you be doing in your life? So write this down. Who would I be without this weight? What would your life look like and feel like? Really get into the vision of that. What would you wear? What activities would you do? Would you be prancing around naked? Would you be in lingerie? What would your sex life be like with your partner? Or if you don't have a partner, would you be out there dating? Would you initiate sex more? I have a lot of clients, in my programs where, they're like, I'm initiating now. Like my husband, generally the husbands, if you're worried going, well, my husband would never go for something like that. It's the husbands that don't want my clients to leave my programs. My clients like to stay too, but it's their husbands that are like, please stay, don't leave. We like you like this, because my clients are happier. They're less stressed. They're in their feminine. They're out of this barky, edgy, they're happy, they're sexy, they're wearing things, they go with the flow. They're learning to communicate. They have their husbands. They're letting their husbands be the man and take care of things. There's a lot that happens, that shifts that you don't even realize are going on in your world. And so really think about that. Who would I be without this weight? How would I live my life? How would I show up? You guys post some things. I want to see, I want to hear. I can't hear you, but I want to read. What are some things that you would be doing differently? Right? Why does the sun always go down when I'm on these things? It always gets dark. I need to put light like right behind me. There it is. Like, who would I be? I know a big one for me was, and then I have clients, that are in the coaching world and they're like, I'm finally on video again. And I'm doing this, I'm doing that. So, hi from Sydney, girl. I love me some Sydney. I love Australians. I do. I think my husband's going to be from there. If anybody knows one they want to send my way, I'm open. I'm newly single. I'm open. So yeah, is it confidence? What is it that you would have? Would you strut into any room? Would you just feel this inner glow? I encourage my clients, I'm like, you're wearing underwear for you, girl, not like only when it's sexy time. Like I remember one of my clients was like, well, I only save this bra for special occasions. And I was like, no, you need to wear that bra every day because every day is a special occasion. What are we hiding it for? Like your man he doesn't want to see the grandma bra. He wants to see the special occasion bra. But the lingerie is for you. Do you know what I'm saying? So I really want you guys to get into this. Who would I be without the weight? What would my life look like? How would I be? Let's take this one step further. Yes, I think I'd be more relaxed and have more fun with clothes. I want to definitely wear a bikini and feel better naked. Yes, girl, go wet and wild with my kids and participate and not hide in baggy clothes out of the water. Yes, that's living, Rebecca, right? Get in the splish and splash. That is living. What we don't see as dieters is how often you're not enjoying life because you think you're not deserving of it until you're a certain size. My goal is to bring women back to the truth of who they are, the truth of who they are before they thought they were less than due to some stupid number on the scale or what somebody said. Remember when I told you somebody said I was bad at math? I'm brilliant at math. I'm so good at math. It's ridiculous. I had so many people tell me crappy things when I was younger. In educational, I went to an all-girls private Catholic school. I was told, like, we'd be surprised if you go to college. Yeah, well, I'm like probably one of the most highly educated people that I know, with more degrees coming out the wazoo. Just not kind things, not kind at all. And it really did a number. And I made it my identity. And it wasn't until I learned what I'm teaching my clients, what I teach my clients and what I teach in my courses. And you guys know, listen, you've all dieted, you have all the diet tips, you've got all the workouts in the world. Yes, I have recipe books and I have workouts and I know how to do all that stuff and I help my clients with that stuff. And at the end of the day, you know what to do, but you're not doing it. Why? we've got to fix this. We've got to fix your relationship in here, right? That's the only difference. And when I learned the special sauce and what I teach, which is why I became a hypnotherapist, which is why I went into energy work, which is why I tie all of these modalities into, and the psychology of eating into the work that I do, because I know that we have to look at your life as a pie, not just what are you eating and are you moving your body, because clearly that does not work, right? So it's more than that. It's so much more than that. And I would have more energy, right? Like, it's all of these things. So I want everybody to close your eyes. We're going to go through a visualization. I told you in this series, we're going to do some experiential things. So I hope you guys can see me. I'm going to keep moving about. Okay. I'm like rotating. Like I'm like a rotisserie chicken. Am I serious with this comment? Okay. So I want you guys to close your eyes. We're all going to center in. And we're going to come back to those questions. I got a lot more for you, so don't you worry. I want you to close your eyes. I want you to breathe. And let's just get collected here. And I want to take you on a little journey. So I asked you a question around who would you be without this weight, and what would that feel like for you? What would your life feel like? And breathing in through your nose and out through your mouth. We're ending this beautiful Wednesday. How blessed are we? And this is your time for you. So put everything else away, put your phones away, really be connected here. Let's really stay connected and in a space of appreciation for what we're experiencing. And this is you for you, right? And I get that. So I want to give you something that's going to make you feel all juicy inside. So aside from just entertaining yourself with these questions that will become your reality, and I'll help take you there, I want you to breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. Take a deep inhale in. This is a belly inhale. A belly inhale is so deep where you're filling up the chest, filling up the belly. Belly rise. You hear that often in yoga, and what that's about is we're really filling up your body with life source, right? And out through your mouth. On this inhale, I want you to breathe in for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You're going to hold that for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale out through the mouth. I'm coming in close. Don't pay attention to me. And take another deep inhale in through the nose, keeping your eyes closed. And hold it for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale out through your mouth. Beautiful. And at this time, you're going to go on a little journey, and I want you to get in touch with the piece of you that just got excited at thinking about the possibilities of, who am I without this weight? How does she feel? So dropping into your body, hand on belly, hand on heart, connect in. For some of you, you haven't felt your bellies, and some don't like to. And this is you connecting to your body. You and your body are one and the same. It's time for us to invite her into the journey. And that's how you're going to get to the other side. Breathing in, feeling the essence of who you are. The essence of the true you, who you are without the weight. I want you to see yourself walking along a beach. And this can be a beach anywhere, maybe a place that you've been to once, or maybe you've never been before. But you're walking along and you feel the sun shining on you. You smell the beach air. You can feel the sand between your toes. And you're relaxed and happy. And as you're walking along, Feeling the sun, you decide, I'm going to take a nap. I'm going to lay right here for a moment. And you sit down on the sand, and it's so warm behind you, and you don't even care that there's sand in your hair. You lay back, and you feel the warmth beneath you of the sun on the sand, listening to the sound of the waves, breathing in and breathing out. And you feel so confident and comfortable in your skin. At this time, you take a little nap. You're going to close your eyes while you're on this beach. And as you close your eyes, you see a mirror before you. And it's a full-length mirror, and you walk up to this mirror. Only the reflection that you see back is not one that you've seen before. It's you, but you're glowing. You look so happy and free, so light. You are the vision of who you know lives inside of you. You are the vision of this woman, the truth of who you are. And you've come home to her, and she is stunning and full of life and happy. And she is so excited to see you. She can't stop laughing and smiling and going, we did this. Like, this is us. This is the real you. And you're just looking at her in awe. And she invites you to step into the mirror. And you take her hand and you step into your life, you without the weight. Continuing to breathe in, hand on heart, hand on belly. What is it that you see? What is this life that you live? Who's there with you? What are you wearing? Do you have a bikini on? One piece? Are you in that tight dress you've always wanted to wear? Maybe you've got your skinny jeans or a really adorable workout outfit. Are you running around with your kids or your grandkids? Is it your wedding day? Are you on a vacation with your man or your partner? Who's in this experience with you, and how does it feel to be you? This is your life. That is you. And at this time, I want to invite you to look at your future self and thank her. And you have one question that you can ask her. And take this moment to ask her that question now. And thank her for showing you what's possible and what's in store for you in 2018. And you open your eyes on this beach, feeling incredible in your body, a surge of confidence, and such immense excitement for your life and for what's ahead of you. And coming back and opening your eyes, taking a big, deep inhale in, holding your heart, holding your belly. Give yourself a big, beautiful hug and thank yourself and say, I love you. I accept you exactly as you are. And I'm so excited for who we're becoming. All right. So I would love to hear, how was that experience? How was that for you guys? Did you see what's possible? And what messages did you receive? Take a moment to write that down and to share in the chat. I would really, really love to know. Yes. Yes. So I'm so excited. Yes. For who you're becoming. Yes. Perfect. So beautiful. Yeah, so I'm very big on experiences, and those of you that are in my programs know, and those of you that are in Weight Loss for Life that's starting soon, you know as well, or get excited because you've got a lot of that in store. So what I want you to do is I really want you to think about, what is this worth to you? Because what you saw is possible. So what you saw is meant for you, or you wouldn't have seen it. You wouldn't have felt it. So now I want you to think about, what is that worth to you? Are you ready for that? Right? And at this time, I want to bring on a special guest. I'm going to bring on Tanya. And Jennifer, I'm just going to ask for you to assist with that. And I just want to tell you guys, I want to make sure that she can get on okay. Ooh. Oh my God. Okay. All right. Tanya, you there?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Okay. Can you turn your video on? Just at the bottom, there's a little video.
I'm actually using a device that doesn't have a camera. Sorry.
Oh my God, that's okay, girl. All right, then I will make it so that you're not as big. Oh, well, I am sad not to see you. So guys, I wanted to share Tanya with you for a few reasons. One, she is such an inspiration. All of my clients inspire me. Just inspire me to no end. And there's a few things that I wanted her to share, because I think it's so easy for me to talk about all of this and for you guys to go, oh yeah, well, Melissa did it, and like, did she really ever struggle, or I know actually I've never had anybody ask me that, because by the way that I talk, you all know that I have, because everybody says, like, it's like you're in my head, like, you can relate to me. And that's because I've been there. So I don't think I could do that the way that I do unless I was actually there. But Tanya, what I would love to do, and I just want to thank you for being a part of this and sharing your experiences. I want to know, for you, you've been working with me, and I would love, what was your life like when we just went through that exercise and you thought about who you were versus who you are now? What was your life like before we began working together?
I would say my life was definitely a lot different than it is now. I was very unhappy. I was completely stressed out. Any little thing would trigger me off into a raging fit. I didn't know who I was. I didn't have any hobbies. I was pretty much a homebody, didn't want to go out, was always concerned about what people were thinking about me, and just generally a huge people pleaser. Yeah. And everything in my house had to be perfect. If it wasn't perfect, I was miserable.
Yeah, and you have two beautiful children, an amazing husband.
Yep.
A job that you enjoy. So I know that was, so when I would love if you could also share, there was that piece, and I want to tell you where she is now, because it's like, it's so incredible. And I think when we're on this journey, you know, when you're where many of the women are on this call tonight, you know, it's kind of like, how could, like, I saw this vision and I just don't feel like it's possible, or I don't know how I could get there. It feels like it's going to take forever. And, you know, I mean, you started seeing and experiencing results and feeling different, you know, early on, and then it's been a continuation. But why did you choose, what was it about me and then this method that's worked for you?
I think it was, I had tried every other diet or plan that was out there, from the craziest thing to the super healthiest thing. And I would lose weight in the beginning and gain 3 times back. And I was watching a video on Facebook that you had done, and everything that you had said in that video spoke to me in one way or another. And I was like, she's reading my mind. It was just, it freaked me out. And when, after I watched that video, I was like, you know what? This is a sign. I need to call Melissa. I need to talk to her. This is something different that I've never tried before. And it just, after that first conversation, I knew I'd made the right decision, that you and I were meant to work together, because this was the year that I was going to change and I was going to become the person that I know that I am.
Absolutely. But here's the coolest thing, like, you've become a person I don't even think you thought you could become.
No, not at all. If you had asked me 6 months ago, half the things that I'm doing now, I would have told you, you're crazy. Yeah. For me to even be thinking of being on a webcast with you, I was scared to death. I would have told you, nope, sorry, I can't do that.
Yeah. So that's what I would love to share with you. So guys, this is like 6 months later, right? Like, this is not, so tell us, what are the results that you've had? How has your life changed? Like, what's different for you now?
First of all, like, when we first started working together, you had said, I need to visualize what I want with my life. And one of the things I wanted was a different job. I wasn't happy doing what I was doing. And within a couple of weeks, I was offered a new position at work. Yeah. I didn't go looking for it. They came to me.
It was awesome.
And that was a shock, because that's something that has never happened to me before. But if I look at the way my life is now versus what it was when we first started working together, I'm starting to use my voice more with people that I never would before. For example, you know, my dad or people at work. I'm actually now voicing my suggestions and my concerns. And if things are going a way that I'm not liking it, I'm actually using my voice, you know, which I'd never done before. I've also stopped being a people pleaser. And I've actually started taking more time for things for myself. And by doing that, I've seen that my family is way more happier than what they were.
Yeah. And so in regards to weight loss, tell everybody about your weight loss and what your fitness, like you went like from not working out to what you're doing now, and how it's impacted your family and how you're inspiring people at work. Yeah.
So I've lost just over 30 pounds now. And I can tell you it's been the easiest way that I've ever lost weight. Yeah. I used to be a person that would have to sit and eat a bag of chips or popcorn or something like that at night. I can't remember the last time I did that. And I'm not even craving that stuff anymore, where before I would be craving it so bad I'd kill somebody for it.
Well, wait, and the other day you were like, Melissa, you know, I just kind of eat for energy now.
Yep.
And I'm like, yes! I was like jumping up and down. I was like, it happened, it happened. And I remember you were like, that's never going to be me. That's never going to happen for me. I can't imagine it.
Exactly. And it's when we started working together, I was like, okay, Melissa, I need a plan. Like, what am I supposed to eat? Like, what am I not allowed to eat? And that just, it not having that freaked me out because I didn't have control.
Yeah.
And once I started trusting the process and we started doing the work, it's like before I realized it, I'm now eating because I need to eat for energy, not because I need it emotionally wise.
Yeah.
I also used to be the type of person that would hide at home. I wouldn't want to go out because I couldn't do things. I didn't have the energy. You know, I missed out on doing a lot with my family and with my husband and my kids because I was too embarrassed. Now I'm going to CrossFit and I'm doing the CrossFit Open with people that are so much more fitter than I am. And you know, they welcoming me, and it's such an accomplishment when I do things that I never thought I could do.
I mean, you're such an inspiration. I had to share you because I'm like, you are just like every other one that's going, I could never do this, you know, and that would never be me. And I was like, Tanya, oh my God, if I read to you, this is going to be you in 6 months. I mean, you would have been like, yeah, and I'll see you later. Like,
I would have been like, Melissa, are you sure that's me? No, there's no way that'll happen.
and she's inspiring her kids. Now everybody's like healthy in her family and date nights with her husband. And like,
Yeah.
so, I mean, so what would you, now in terms of fears and really like, actually, I want to ask you this. In going back, because I think this is another one that a lot of women get confused on in terms of like done with dieting, what do you think is the biggest difference in this weight loss for you versus other times?
I think this time I haven't focused on food. We focused on the deeper things, the things that have caused me to go to food.
Yes.
And the fears of that I'm not good enough and that people are judging me, and you know, that negativity,
Yeah.
that once you get in that cycle, it keeps going and it gets worse and worse and worse. And I think by changing to positivity and looking at things in a different way, it's changed the way that I feel and the way that I look at things.
Yeah.
You know, for example, like one thing that I think stuck out the most for me is, you know, I had some issues with my son and we were always fighting and we were angry with each other. And I brought that up to you, and you said to me, but you're setting him up for failure. And when you first said that, I thought, what? That's crazy. How am I doing that? But once we got talking through it, I was like, wow, you're actually right. I did not realize the way that I was doing things was affecting the outcome from other people. And by changing the way of doing things like that, it's changed the way people respond to me. It changes the way the results that I get, which in turn make things so much more happier, which I don't turn to food anymore.
Yeah, when you do what I call the inner weight loss, when you shift on the inside, it's not about needing to change other people need to, or circumstances need to change. It's actually you shift your experience and the people around you shift because of it, and they shift their response to you, and therefore your experience of them changes.
Correct. Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, so I want to ask you this, because that's another one, is a lot of people will say, you know, I don't want to do the work. I don't want to do the inner stuff. I don't want to go there. And my response to that is always, you know, well, the decades of pain of dieting, like easily trump the few months of us diving deeper, you know, and going and actually getting to the root and getting this up and out so that you can have permanent change. You know, so did you have any apprehension around that, or was that something that you were welcome to?
I was scared to death of doing that
Yeah.
because I've never been a person that's talked about my emotions. I've never actually been somebody that deals with emotions. It's something will happen. I just shove it in, shove it down, ignore it, forget it, don't deal with it, just pretend it didn't happen. And secretly, those things were eating away at me continuously. And, you know, I would look at the things that had happened and be like, well, if I didn't do this, if I hadn't said this, and that was all wrong. Mm-hmm. And only once I started dealing with all those emotional issues, no matter how hard and how difficult and how uncomfortable it's definitely been way worth it. I can't actually put it into words, the benefit of dealing with all that emotional stuff that I never dealt with for years.
Oh, it's painstaking. I mean, that's what causes you to eat. I mean, that's really where it comes from. It's not until, I mean, that was the same thing with me. I just kept going on a diet and it was like Band-Aid, shove it down, Band-Aid, shove it down, Band-Aid, shove it down. And then it just becomes so much. So what advice would you have for Tanya, for women that are sitting there going, I want to do this and I'm afraid it's not going to work for me. Like I want to get on board with this concept of being done with dieting and really I want a solution, but I'm afraid it's not going to work for me or I'm going to fail. What would your advice be? Because saying yes to you was the greatest gift you've given yourself.
It was the greatest thing I could have ever done. And it took me a little while to actually say yes. I mean, my husband poked and prodded at me and he's like, you never do anything for yourself. You don't go out. You don't buy yourself anything.
The husbands always want you to do it.
He's like, just do it. And I can be honest, in the beginning, I was very stubborn and didn't give in to the process. And I can say for anybody that's out there, do it. It will be the best thing you can ever do for yourself and your family, because looking after yourself, you'll have a much healthier, happier family.
I know yours is like, it's amazing. I mean, truly guys, she's like now the spokesperson, like at work, and everybody's like, what are you doing? You look so good. You're so happy. You know, I mean, it's amazing. I was like, oh my God, I need other women to hear what you experienced.
In the beginning, when we started, I changed the positivity and the negativity. My son actually said to me, Mom, I actually don't want to be around you anymore. You're way too positive. and it was only once I started talking to him and my daughter a little bit more about why I was doing this and the benefits of looking at the positive stuff, that they've actually started changing the way they look at things too.
Oh, investing in yourself, guys, for anybody, no matter what you decide to do in life, any time you can invest in yourself, it is a gift for everybody involved. So whenever you're sitting there going, well, the money and how it's going to impact my kids and I could be paying for them to do this, nothing is better than a mom that's fully present and excited and happy and you're sharing, right? Tanya, thank you so much for being here and for sharing your experience. It means the world and you're such an inspiration.
Thanks so much, Melissa. It's so great sharing this with others and hopefully helping others.
You are, of course you are. You're always, you're such a gift and I so appreciate you. Okay. I'm going to let you get back to your day and thank you so much. And I'm going to figure out how to do this. Okay, there we go. I'm going to bye. Thank you so much. Okay. All right, guys. So what I wanted to tell you is if you're sitting here and you're going, I really want to know how I can, since I haven't even told you anything, but Weight Loss for Life is the program that is open for you guys and it's open for enrollment. If you are interested, then just want to tell you this now. I'm doing a special. There are 5 spots open for a VIP. There are only 5 that I could do. VIP 1-hour session with me. So I am $1,000 an hour actually $1,000 for 45 minutes to speak with me. And what we are doing in this VIP session is we would map out a customized plan for you to support you in the Weight Loss for Life program. And the Weight Loss for Life program is starting in only a few weeks. So if you are interested and want to be a part of that, we are going to put a link. I can only honor the first 5 that apply and join the program. So you are getting a link to simply apply, and then we review your application, and if you are a fit, then we bring you in. And so if that's something that you want to do, the link is coming up right here in the chat box. Go and apply now. If you want to learn more about the program, we will put the link just under the application. So the first link is for the application. That's, I can only honor 5. So it's the first 5 that take action in that time together, in that hour, that VIP hour with me. We are going to get you unblocked, create and help you with more of a customized plan. So that's the VIP special link. Thank you, Jennifer. The link to the program to check it out, to read all the testimonials and to hear more is coming up right now. Now I would really want to go into step 2 of tonight's webinar. So stick with me here and stay on to the end. So I don't want you going anywhere because this is just getting good. You know what I'm saying? All right. So we went through step 1, which was discover the true you without the weight. Who are you? Who do you believe you are versus who you want to be? And we did a visualization. What I really want you to get with step 1 is I wanted you to see what's possible for you. I want you guys to be operating from possibility versus your current belief system. Tanya was a beautiful example from that. You can only go as far as you can go given your level of comprehension for who you are at this point in time. That is why we need coaches and programs that take us higher. And we need them from somebody that's been there, that's actually done what you are wanting to do, right? You want somebody that's been there, not somebody that's never struggled with the things that you're struggling with. So I share this with you because, again, I want you to be operating from what possibility versus your current belief system, because your current belief system will be, well, I don't have the time to get my dream job. Well, I don't have the time to. You heard Tanya say, like, I wanted a job, I visualized it, I did Melissa's mindset work around that, and 3 weeks later, a job opportunity came to me without even trying. That's being in flow. That's when your mind's in alignment, right? This is the easiest weight loss I've ever had. Why? Because she's doing the formula. She's doing the method that I teach, and it works, and it's easy. She's a testament to that, as is everybody else that's on that website. And the hundreds of women that have worked with me privately and thousands globally. So it works. I'm a testament to it. And I really want you to get that if it's something that you want, it's possible for you. It does take you taking the first action step. So step 2 are 3 keys to master your monkey mind. Now, I really want you to hear this. One of the very first things that we did in step 1, which was I brought you back to your breath. Okay, so guys, if you're with me, I want you to shake it up. I don't want to lose you. I want you to come back. I want you to be here. So move your bodies. Let's get some energy going. If your mind's kind of like, she's already told me too much, bring it back. Stay with me here and move about. Just shake it up. That's how you move energy throughout the body. You shake, you dance. It's not, you don't necessarily have to do all this crazy voodoo stuff. You literally, it's moving energy through your body. Dancing is the #1 thing to do. That's why I love it so much. So 3 keys to master your monkey mind. Step 1 is breath. What we want to do with breath is go deep. You know how I talked about belly breaths? So when you're wanting to master your mind, did you ever notice when you wake up, anxiety is what gets you, and generally what you do is you pop out of bed, you freak out, you feel the panic, it's heavy on your chest, you go and you have a cup of coffee, so then the heavy on your chest stays there, and then you add your heart hopping out of your body and giving yourself the jitters. And we never stop to actually be intentional, right? We never stop to actually get clear on what we want to experience. One of the #1 things that you can do is be in a space where you can bring yourself back to your breath. Breath is going to calm you. Breath is going to connect you to the body. Breath is going to release you of anxiety. And breath going in, how I did that breath work of 5 in, hold it for 5, out for 5, 5 in, hold it for 5, out for 5, is what's going to bring you into a meditative state. And that's truly what you want to be experiencing, okay? So that breath is what's going to take you in. Step 2, so we, again, in through the nose, and why we bring it in through the nose instead of in through the mouth is because it's constricted airways that goes right into oh my God, scientifically, when we go up, we've got our pituitary gland, which is in the front lobe. And the air, as it filters up, it's going to calm and relax this space. So I want you to think that you're breathing in white light. It comes in, purifies, calms the mind, and see the white light going back towards the breath and grounding you in. And this white light comes down through your spine and out the bottoms of your feet, grounding you into the earth. As you take that breath, you set a very clear intention, okay? You set a very clear intention for what you want to experience that day, okay? I'm going to be talking faster because I realize the time, and we've got lots to cover. So I want you to stay here with me. If you're really committed, stay on to the end, girl. All right. Faith. Faith is step 2. Now, any of you that follow me, you know that I'm faith-based. I don't push religion. I'm not about pushing religion. I am a believer in religion. I'm a believer in spirituality. I'm a believer in faith. I'll go sit in a synagogue. I'll chant with the Buddha. I will Sufism. I mean, I think find religion to be beautiful. I was raised Catholic. I do believe in God. I believe in the Blessed Mother, Jesus, all of that. Jesus and I were tight. I don't put faith on anybody. I believe in the universe, source, power, you name it. I do talk to my angels. But what I will say is this, and other spirit guides, I will say this, in order to really be done with dieting, to be free from food and to really feel at peace, we have to get out of isolation with this. You cannot conquer something with the skill sets in which you are meeting it. Okay, Aristotle said it best. I'm not going to quote it. I'm not going to get the quote right. That was kind of my own rendition. You cannot overcome something with the skill set that you currently are existing at. Clearly, it's not working. You have to gain a new skill set, a new way of being. That new way of being is not, I need more willpower, more discipline, because that's not a new way of being. That's you putting yourself into a space of doing, right? We need to be what we want to be in order to do, to then have what we want. I'm going to repeat that again. We need to be what we want to be. We need to own it. That's why I have people visualize the body you want, visualize the life you want, visualize the woman that you want to be. You have to start acting as her, act as if, be her, then you can do what you want, right? Take the action steps to have the desired result. Get it? But you can't do, see, you're in the process of doing. My mentor, Jim Horton, talks about this. You're in the process of doing. I've got to be on a diet. I'm going to be on a diet and I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that and I'm going to do this and then I'm going to change. Doesn't work that way. Doesn't work that way because you haven't changed your state of being. See, Tanya changed. Now, she fought me in the beginning, but she changed because she changed her way of being. Changed up here, which changed her in here, which changed her out here. I need and want you to shift out of, I need to change the outer and then I'll change the inner. It's backwards, guys. That's what diets are. Change the inner, the outer changes and it stays. That's called a weight loss solution. That's what weight loss for life is. Do you get the difference? Weight loss for life is a lasting weight loss solution, not a diet. It is a lifestyle. You have never actually shifted your identity. Just like I sat on stage and won Best Body and had this fitness model's body, I never actually had the identity of a fitness model. I never had the identity of a winner. I never had the identity of somebody that had their ideal body. I never cemented that in. Therefore, it was a temporary result. And then, but my identity was actually, I'm a dieter. My identity was, I'm meant to struggle. My identity is, I'm less than. My identity is, I'm not enough. So what did I do? I could achieve anything. I can lose the weight. I could get the body, but I'd go back. See what I'm saying? I never became the identity of the person I really wanted to be. And you need to have somebody that can teach you how to do that. And faith in something greater. See, Tanya had faith in me, right? So then my belief in her gave her her belief in herself. And she trusted me until she trusted herself. And as she did that, then I give her the wings to fly, which is what I do as a coach. I don't hold you back. I give you wings so you can fly. Do you see the difference? So I just want to make sure that that makes sense. So first we want to get into breath and our intention. Step 2 is being in faith. What is step 3 in the 3 keys to master the monkey mind? The third, blah, 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 blah. I'm getting excited. The third step is I need you to talk to yourself out loud. Your monkey mind is your mind on repeat. It is this 60 to 80,000 repeated thoughts a day, half of which are negative from years before. In order for us to shift out of them, I need you to get them out of your head and voice them. Give them a voice. Hear how ludicrous they sound. When you start actually challenging the crazy voice in your head, do you know what happens? You start hearing it and you go, that just sounds, that's one, like that's mean. And 2, that sounds crazy. Like that's crazy. Who would say that to themselves? Like that doesn't even make sense. Give her a name. My alter ego's name, she's Crystal. Crystal loves to talk to me. She likes to tell me all the things that I do wrong. And the more that I talk to her, the less frequently she's around. So you want to talk to her. You want to give them a voice. You want to get out of the craziness in your head, right? And these are just other things. So I'm going through these kind of quickly, but we go through this extensively in the Weight Loss for Life program. We give you tools, we give you tips, we give you resources, we give you food guides and so many other tools so that you have your own roadmap to success based off of your life, your body, your desires, and your goals, because everyone's body is different. So I want to make sure that these are landing with you guys again. Breath and intention, faith in something greater outside of yourself, universe, God, source, power, whatever it is, nature, whatever you believe. But guys, when you sit and think you need to fix you, then you're in complete isolation. It's a lonely place. And when you're in isolation, that's when heart hunger comes into play. And that's when you're eating when you really just want love. That's when you're eating when you're lonely. That's when you're eating when you're sad. That's when you're eating out of sheer boredom. When what you're really wanting is someone just to hold you and say, I've got you. I've got you. You don't need to work so hard. Lean back. Let me hold you. Let me guide you. That's what faith is for. That's what having a coach is for, right? When people join my programs, you know, they're always like, I feel like a weight was lifted. I'm scared to death. And they are scared because it's a completely different way of being. And they're afraid I'm going to take food away, which I'm not at all. My programs are like more about eat what you want. You just don't have an emotional attachment and no good or bad foods anymore. It's actually so liberating. And so what I want to do right now is I want to share with you somebody else that is like so near and dear to me. And this is Rebecca. And so I want to make sure, Rebecca, let me know if you're there, girl. Rebecca?
Oh, hello. Can you hear me?
Yes. Can you turn your video on, or is yours not working?
It's saying it doesn't actually allow me to do it, but I do have my wonderful video here. I'm pretty sure that is going to be controlled from yourself.
Oh, I don't know why your video. I don't know how to do your video. Let's see.
Lipstick on today.
I'm going to. Okay. I still can't see you. Oh, this is unfortunate. Okay. Both you and Tanya are so beautiful. Okay. Hidden chat, but we can hear you, so that's all that matters.
You can hear my lovely Aussie accent.
I'm so sorry, guys. Yeah, can you raise your volume just a little bit?
Absolutely.
Oh, thank you. So, guys, I wanted to introduce you to Rebecca. And so thank you for saying I don't take food away. Yeah. And so I would love, Rebecca, can you share? So Rebecca's in Australia. She's one of my Aussies. I love it. I keep saying, I'm going to marry an Australian. And there you are, you gorgeous thing. Oh my God. Hi. Love the red lips. Okay. So I would love if you could share just like your journey. What made you sign up with me? What was it that really spoke to you about this program and just working with me in general? My method. Not crazy.
Yeah, like Tanya and probably everyone else on this call, I have tried everything from Weight Watchers to Journey Craig to fast to detox centers in Southeast Asia to only drinking juice for 32 days to the blood type diet. I could go on and on and on. I pretty much, I've done it, got the t-shirt. I'm brilliant at losing weight. But my previous story was I was also very, very efficient at putting on weight. So I'm quite an intuitive person. I'd made a number of
very intuitive. Like she's like a psychic. Yeah.
And so as you know, I made a major shift in my personal life by jumping out of a very big corporate role and going into my own business. And with that came a lot of challenges. And one of the reasons that I did that was I knew things in life had to change, and that coincided with my 40th birthday as well. So for me, I knew this was not about a diet. I knew this was not about an exercise plan. This was all about mindset and my emotions and me finally understanding what that was all about. Now, to be open and transparent, because I think that that's of most value for the people on this call as well, I had hit back in October 2016 a pit in my life which did create change, but it also had a lot of depression that came with it. And I saw a psychologist and realized in my life I'd been through a lot of trauma. Now I unpacked all of that and that was great, but I didn't know what to do with it. But I did know that for me, my gut feeling was I needed to understand the emotions because I had an emotional eating issue. So how could I fix an emotional eating issue with a diet or an exercise plan? It didn't make sense. Yeah. So for me, an EDM came through from another network I was following, and there was just something that really spoke out, and it was the 3 words, done with dieting, because it was something that inner voice and it was my inner gut kept saying, Beck, you're done with dieting. You're over this. You're past it. You've grown out of it. And unfortunately, the pendulum swung the other way for me. Oh, not unfortunately, but at the time. And I went on a food fiasco and ate everything that I could and would and all of those things. And then it got to the stage where, hang on, there needs to be some balance here. But those key words that are done with dieting, your authenticity, your transparency, your journey, they spoke to me. And that's when I just didn't even hesitate. I booked in for one of your programs and was so grateful to have the opportunity to have a one-on-one call with you. So ladies on the call, that link, go for the application, because how it has changed my life is beyond the words that I can explain in this short period of time. But the call that I had with you, we unlocked stuff that I had been keeping in Pandora's box. And as you know, Melissa, I'm very much up in here. I had actually completely disconnected from my body because I hated my body so much, to the point where I'd actually broken my foot and didn't know for months because I was blocking the pain so much with food and sugar in particular.
It's so
just
powerful.
So crazy. Yeah.
Guys, those calls, I'm not just saying like, oh, just got a call. Like they're really, we go and I'm action packed. We do so much in that time together. Beck, I would love, so where were you then versus now? Because that's another, you and food and, oh my God. So everything. Yeah, can you give people just an indication?
Yeah, so just on a physical level, in the short, I think it's been about 3.5 months. It's been just over 90 days since we've been working with each other, and it's hard to believe that it's been that short, but it feels that even longer. But what's transformed for me?
Friends for life, girl. You're going anywhere now.
It's crazy. Where now I don't know the kilos that I've dropped because I threw out my scales. But what I do know is that over Christmas, which most of us, we overindulge, we enjoy, we celebrate, we do all of those things, we get stressed. I managed to drop from a size Australian 22, a very tight fitting 22, and I'm now sitting between a 16 to 18. And
this is like 90 days.
Yeah. And that's, and I have to share with everyone, that is with no diet. and that is with no exercise. I realized at the age of 40, I don't like working out.
Yeah.
I really don't like it. I like moving my body, and what you've taught me is there's 1,000 different ways to move your body. And, you know, God bless all the people that love going for a run. It's just not me. Maybe it will be. It's just not me now. But, you know, do I like to go dance? Do I like to, you know, walk to the station? Do I like to do a million things with my kids? Yes. So that's a huge achievement. If you would have said to me back in early November, you know what, Beth, you're going to drop a couple of, you know, drop two and a bit dress sizes over Christmas. You're going to have the most amazing Christmas that you've ever had, and you're not going to do any exercise, and you are going to drink amazing champagne Christmas Day and eat the most decadent beef Wellington that you've ever had. Now, what I also need to share with the people that are on this call is that my food has a lot of requirements. I am one of the few people on this earth that is allergic to fruit and vegetables and bone broth, because I have intolerances to things called salicylates, amines, and glutamates. So it was one of the other reasons I came to you, is I knew that you had the education, I knew that you had the experience and the exposure with your clientele to be able to support me through that and that journey, and not just be, like, say, a dietitian who says, oh, these are the foods you can't eat, and that's all you're hearing. We looked at, what can I have? And but that's just sort of another layer for me of the excitement. The one thing that Tanya brought up as well was in regards to unpacking the deep, and for me that was unpacking the darkness. And I want to share with everybody something that you said to me, because I was petrified. Remember the times I'm like, no, I'm not doing this now. I can't do it. I'm getting the block. I'm getting this front door. The door's getting shut. And one of the things that was able to help me through that and coach, and this is, you know, testament to your coaching style, was an analogy you made to me about the moon. And the moon is beautiful. Like, no one ever judges the moon or sits there and think, oh, anything bad of the moon. And the moon goes through cycles. The moon goes through the point where it's in the sun and it's bright and it's shiny. And then it transitions and it's in the dark. That doesn't change who the moon is. It doesn't change what the moon's structure is, or the brightness that once was. It's just a different section of the moon. And that's when it realized I had to come to peace, because I like to be a positive person. I like to be shiny. And I realized you can be shiny when you are dealing with your dark. And it was the first time in my life, just without, you know, airing all my dirty laundry, is that I had someone supporting me. I've always been everyone's rock. I've always been the person that was the adult in the relationship. And to have someone hold my hand and say, guess what? I'm going to help you unpack this bag and put it all away neatly. And so it's done in quick sticks. And it was not anything to be petrified. It's been the opposite to painful. It's been effortless. And you know, as you know, the transition that's happened in my personal life, in my business, has been huge. Absolutely huge.
Yeah, it's and then you kicked sugar on top of it.
Oh yes. So everyone has their trigger addiction, and for me it was the sugar. So it wasn't alcohol, wasn't social media, wasn't drugs, sex, any of those things that are always delightful in small doses, but it was sugar. Now, to give people again some context around the sugar addiction, we are talking chocolate bars for breakfast with pancakes and sprayed whipped cream, and then getting cookies out and spraying whipped cream on them, and bags of marshmallows. I'm talking, this is not, you know, you're on sneaky brownie every now and then. And it was a lot of closet eating, a lot of binging, and constant binging. And I cannot explain the time that you have and the resources you have in your day when your constant thought isn't about needing that next hit, needing that next fill.
You have so much space. That's what I tell people.
Oh my gosh.
When you stop thinking about dieting all the time, you have no idea how much energy and just like how draining and like what you're open to.
Absolutely. And to give an example of that, my business day, as you know, I'm an early starter, but my business day would start around about anywhere between 6:30 and 7:30 in the morning, and I would finish quite late at night up and sometimes up until 10 or 11, and then be back up again at 3:30 in the morning. Now, since kicking the sugar, since going through all this transition, I now run my business between the hours of 10 and 2 p.m. because I mum between 6 and 9:30 and then come and decompress. Now, my business has, as you know, exploded over this period of time as well. And similar to Tanya, I'm having conversations. Now, for me to come on a Zoom session and be on video to people that have not met me before, and I'm an introvert, even though I can talk a lot, is just the difference of being that person that I wanted to be. It's positively affected my business because now people have a deeper connection with me because they are seeing me on screen. They're seeing me in person. I'm doing a lot more keynote speaking events. And look, I'm still human. I had a moment yesterday where I had to go and speak, to a bunch of bankers, and they were bankers that I'd known. And I thought, oh my gosh, I've put on weight since the last spoke a couple of years ago, and I've been hiding. And then I put myself into a suit, felt great. Now this is where fear can still manifest. And I was on the way out and my washing machine had leaked. I slipped over in my suit and got covered in water and fluff.
No.
So then I needed to run back upstairs so I could catch the train in, and I slapped on a white t-shirt, some beige pants and some little white sneakers, and I went, I'm going to have to go the casual consultant look. And what was different was I went through a moment where I said, look, there's an opportunity here. My old self would have turned up in a suit. This is a new me. Now, the interesting feedback that came back after I'd done the presentation, the meetings, was everyone was like, oh my gosh, Beck, you look amazing. Fantastic. Wow, we can't believe you've done this. This is great. They didn't see the suit. They didn't see anything. What they saw was me being me and doing what I love.
Yes. And showing up. It's you're not hiding and you're not making yourself wrong.
No, actually, and that is such a strong statement, showing up. The old me would have sent a text cancelling, blaming that one of the kids was sick, because I would not have had the confidence.
And you would have lost the opportunity and
absolutely
yes. So I want to ask you, for those that are sitting here going, because I think the hardest thing is, you hear people and say, okay, I hear this and that sounds great. And the idea of investing, the idea of this investment in myself, and you're somebody that's, you're the primary breadwinner, run your own business that you just started a year ago, a little over a year now, are a mom, a working mom. What was that thought process and how has that been for you?
This was more of a business decision as well as an emotional decision. So when we spoke and we untapped things that really were quite powerful for me, my gut was saying, just do this. My rational brain was looking at cash flow and budgets and all of those things.
Yep.
And at that point, I decided, do you know what, I'm going to back myself here. And I did. And as you know, fear again can manifest. So within the first month, I had one of my clients, and I'll share this with the group. They actually pulled a $47,000 contract on me. And interesting enough, the exact amount of kilos, apologies to all the US attendees, I do speak in metric, the amount of kilos I'd set in our first goal was 47 kilos. And I was like, oh, okay, where's the opportunity in this? Where's the opportunity? Okay, remember, gratitude is your new attitude, Beck. Gratitude is your attitude. And I get on the phone and I'm like, Melissa, lots of colourful Australian swear words in there. What is going on? I know this is trying to tell me something. And you go, girl, 47 kilos? Look how easy it was to lose, like that. And I went, oh, yes, it is. And it has been. And the minute we shifted through, we had some financial mindset stuff to move through. And the minute we started doing that, look at the abundance that flowed.
Mm-hmm.
You know, right to the point where was I 3 weeks ago? I was running a retreat in Bali. So,
Yes.
you know, going
Sugar-free and dropping
sugar-free.
all your clothes
Yeah.
going off, and I'm sitting there and I was like, oh my God. And I was just seeing your smiling face. It was amazing. Girl, thank you so much for sharing and being here.
Oh, that's okay. The only other thing that I wanted to circle back to was something that Tanya said in regards to she wanted the control, she wanted the menu plan. And this is something that I learned most with yourself, because I was thinking the same. I kind of went into that mentality going, oh, am I supposed to have a menu plan? I've done this before. I wanted to do something different. What you empowered me was that the control, it was a false control with menu plans and diets.
Oh, yeah.
What you gave to me was what I call complete control, where I could put on autopilot in regards to food, in regards to health, so that I could actually then enjoy the scenery. I wasn't driving the plane or the bus or the train anymore. I was looking at the clouds. I was looking at my family growing. I was actually experiencing life rather than what I used to call Stanislavski theory, standing on the inside and looking at the window of everyone else enjoying themselves. And that was really huge. And the other big take home moment for me that I really wanted to share with people that are getting to know you is something that is a little difficult for me to speak about. So I'm going to push myself out of my comfort zone here. But in one of our first sessions, one of my trigger foods was Vegemite on toast, which is very Australian, I know. But when I would binge, particularly when I was stressed and overwhelmed and be in the kitchen, it was an easy hit. And I couldn't understand, being that I'm a celiac and it's high in salicylates, why I was doing that. And I was like, why am I doing this? And you explained about the heart hunger. And when we unpacked it and we realized that as a child, my father, who passed also when I was young, would make me Vegemite on toast during times that we were with each other, or times when I was in and out of hospital as a child. That was a moment that we had, and that's when I felt supported and I felt loved and I felt nurtured. And the moment we identified that, and I still remember that was that first week in November, not once have I craved it. Not once have I pulled the bread out of the bread tin, popped it in the toaster and smothered it with butter and popped the Vegemite in my mouth. And it's not because I've said, stop, don't eat that, go drink some water, think something else. I didn't have to put in coping strategies or distraction strategies. I actually just knew when I started to feel that crave, I'd go, oh, okay, Beth, what is it you need? Because it's not the Vegemite on toast. You want that feeling of feeling loved and nurtured. So I'd have to turn to my husband and say, you know what? Kids are driving me a bit cray-cray. I'm going to sit in the lounge for 30 seconds and just put my feet up. You know, kids, guess what? You can watch your iPad now and just give mummy 5 minutes. You know, any of those sorts of things. That, how do you explain that is one of the key successes in the weight loss you're going to have, and not a diet and not an exercise program? So
yes, you don't even realize. Thank you for sharing that. And then, guys, so we go deep into our emotional connections with food and heart hunger versus head hunger, and really understanding why do you have specific trigger foods? Where do they come from? What does that look like? What do they associate with? And really getting you to a space where you don't have the emotional attachment. So it's not about not eating them. It's about them not having an emotional hold over you, and what Beck's sharing with you is showing you how she copes with life now without needing to turn to food, which means effortless weight loss and feeling really empowered and proud of yourself in the process. Like nothing feels better than when you're taking care of you. Like it truly feels wonderful. So thank you so much, girl. You look fabulous.
Thank you.
I so love you. I want to hug you and hope to see you soon. I'm going to see you in Bali. I'm like, that's so happening. And I'll take you off here and just thank you again. I know the time difference is crazy. Have a good day. And thank you, girlie. All right.
Bye.
Bye. Okay. Bye. All right, guys. I am going to go back to making me the host. Okay, but I'm trying to take her off so that I can go full screen again. All right, there we go. All right. So I know we've gone over on time. I just want to make sure, guys, so I'm so sorry. And I just want to finish out our step 3. So if you're still with me, hang on. Again, if you are interested in weight loss for life, if you're just joining, or if you are interested in joining the program, we only accept by application. There is no fee to apply. Jennifer, if you could just post that application link one more time. Just to remember, there are 5 spots. So if you've been sitting here and you've been blocked in weight loss, if you've been blocked in your life, if you feel like you're wanting for change and you're wanting for massive change and you don't know how to make it happen, and you take 2 steps forward and 10 steps back and you keep sabotaging yourself, that's what that VIP call is with me. It's $1,000 worth of a call, $1,000 value, worth of a call, $1,000 value that only 5 people can get. So if you want that, go direct and apply now. When you apply and you speak with me, if I go through your application and it feels good, and then we talk and it's the right fit and you join, we will give you that position and I will honor that. But we can only do that for 5 people. I just don't have the time for more. Okay. So step 3, how to let go of the past. If you heard from the past 2 people that came on, my 2 fabulous guests and clients that shared about working with me and their experience in our programs, a big thing that they did, right, was they said, I no longer want to be this person. I no longer want this to be my identity. It's time for me to let go of the past. It's not working. Yes, I'm afraid. Yes, it's an investment in me. And yes, I'm worth it. And at the core of them, they knew that they were worth it. They stepped into the fear and they turned their trust over to me. They knew that there was a reason why I popped up in their news feed, why they opened up my email, why something came across their Facebook, why at some things that I said has stuck with them and ended up being that change. You all have prayed and asked for support in some way from somewhere. And I always say there's a reason why. If you keep coming back to me and keep hearing something, check it out. I only offer this once a year and I only run it live once. So, you want that. I'm like, that's the time to get in, guys. All right. So how to let go of the past. I want you to really write down every belief you have around why you are where you are now. Why do you believe you are where you are now with the body that you have now? Why do you believe you are where you are now with the body that you have now? What do you believe to be true? And I say this because your life is a direct reflection of what you believe is possible for you. Your life, thank you, Jennifer, you're awesome. Your life is a direct reflection of what you believe is possible for you. So if you're sitting there and going, okay, well, I've got this amazing husband. We live in this gorgeous home and these beautiful children. Why don't I believe that I'm enough though? Why don't I speak up at work? Why don't I tell my husband what I really want? Why do I have a hard time, making girlfriends or telling people not being a people pleaser? Why do I keep saying yes to things that I don't want to go to? Sometimes there are areas in our lives that are out of alignment and we need to bring them into alignment. It's often that piece that's out of alignment that's a missing piece that really needs to be addressed, and that's where the depth lies. That's where we need to go in and go, what went on here, right? So we can have a lot of worth in one area and not in another. Okay, so write down, what is the belief that you have around why you are where you are now? Do you believe that, it's because you're not really committed? Do you believe that you aren't consistent? Do you believe that your body's broken? Do you believe it's your hormones? Do you believe that you sabotage yourself? Do you believe it's because you're a bad person? Do you believe that your metabolism's messed up? Do you believe that you're meant to struggle? Do you believe that things come hard for you? Do you believe that you had a rough upbringing and this is just the way things are? really look at that and see, right? What are the beliefs that you have around where you are now? And maybe you're sitting there going, honestly, I love my life. I love everything about my life. I just don't really like my body. Okay, so what are your beliefs? Why do you believe you have that body? Right? You're still going to find things out, and these questions are going to help you get there. Remember, your lives are a direct reflection of what you believe is possible. So how do we let go of the past? We have to get out of victim. First, we need to understand why we are where we are, and our awareness around that, which is what I just said to you. The next thing is choosing to get out of victim, because what that really is it's a victim mentality. So I don't say that lightly, because I know when I heard that before, I thought, one, I wanted to smack the person, because I'm like, I'm not a victim. Meanwhile, I was totally a victim. It's like, my mom thinks I'm fat. And I went to Weight Watchers, and this happened to me when I was little, and that happened, and this person told me this, and she never believed in me, and I had a reason, and I was the last person that was really accountable. And if I was accountable, then I was overly accountable to a fault where I'd be like, oh, it's all my fault. It's got to be my fault. I mean, I must have done it. No, it wasn't you, it was me. I was always saying I'm sorry. I was the queen of I'm sorry. I mean, to the point where my brother said to me, Mel, I can't be around you. And my brothers call me Mel, and my dad. Mel, I can't be around you because you say I'm sorry so much. It comes out of your mouth. It's almost like you're saying I'm sorry for existing. So who in here says I'm sorry all the time, right? So we have to get out of victim. Getting out of victim means standing in our worth. It means taking ownership of who we are. It means saying, no, God damn it, like I am worth this. And I'm going to take a stand for me. Because at the end of the day, the only opinion that matters is your own, of you, nobody else. And quite honestly, everybody's so wrapped up in worrying what other people think of them anyway. They're not even looking at us. I really wish somebody would have told me that when I was in my teen years and I thought everybody was staring at my thighs, right? So get out of victim, write that down and really ponder that. I'm talking fast because I know you guys are exhausted, and I just want to thank you so much for being here. What would happen, really hear this, what would happen if you lived your life from today? So this is honestly the third piece, not living from the past. So I want you to try this exercise tomorrow. I want you to wake up, and I want you to actually start tomorrow from a clean slate. I want the minute you put your feet on the ground that you say to yourself, today is a new start. I get to be whoever I want to be. I create who I am, and I create my experience. What do I want that to look like? Today is going to be the best day of my life. Everything's going to flow to me. It's going to be easy and effortless, and I'm going to have one of the best days of my entire life. And I just want you to keep repeating that. I'm going to have one of the best days of my entire life. I'm going to have one of the best days of my entire life. Notice how quickly you want to bring yesterday into today. Notice how quickly you start thinking about things from yesterday, and you wake up with thoughts from yesterday. And I want you to be quick to shut those down and just go, today's a new day, new start. Clear, cancel, delete. Today is a new day, new start. I want you to really think, who would I be if I didn't have a past? Just living from today. Right? Because then you're eating from a place of food, you've got no attached, nothing's there. You don't even have an understanding around food. You just know that when your stomach is growling and you feel empty, you eat, right? Not, oh, I've got to eat this because I read somewhere that I need egg whites, and then I'm going to have some coconut oil, and then I'm going to make sure I've got my greens in there, because you got to have your greens. Maybe I need some protein. I need some protein because you've got to have protein. I think I should eat right now because it's first thing in the morning, and they say that you should eat first thing in the morning, especially if you want to lose weight. I'm not going to eat. I'm going to wait because it's intermittent fasting. I'm not going to wait, and then if I do end up eating, I'm going to make myself wrong because then I didn't follow through on my weight loss plan, right? Like, what if you just woke up and you started living with no past, in the present of today? You can start that right now. It's the most amazing exercise and so liberating. And you also see how much you bring the past into the present. Okay? What would it be like? And a great exercise that you can do before you go to bed, which is when we start feeding our subconscious mind, right? Your day actually starts when you go to sleep tonight. Because the way that you go to bed tonight, right? Did you stay up and watch a rerun? Did you eat until you went to bed? Were you sitting there anxious before you go to sleep? What are you doing before you go to bed? Are you on your phone? Are you just sitting there? Did you go to bed in an argument? Do you have loose ends? Are you like reruns of regrets in your head about what you should be doing, beating yourself up? You set yourself up for success the next day. So nighttime is the start of your day. Dreaming is when we program the subconscious mind. That's when we reprogram it with what we want to experience. So say, subconscious mind, I start tomorrow with a new slate. Help me with that. I wake up calm, clear, collected, and excited for my day. Tell your subconscious mind what you want to experience. You will wake up that way. That's how powerful it is. And I go in depth into all of this in our Weight Loss for Life program when we really go deep into mindset mastery. So if you're really digging what I'm talking about and you're like, I want more, that's where we go into it. So really, what could happen if you lived from today, not from your past, just being present, right? Really think, because what that's doing is that's dismissing anybody in your life that shut you down, including yourself, right? Because the more you've shut yourself down in the past, the worse you feel. And then that becomes your identity. That becomes your survival. That becomes your truth. And we want to take that out. So really think about, what story would you tell yourself versus what you're telling yourself from your past? What new story would you tell yourself versus what you're telling yourself from your past? Okay? And as I leave you tonight, I really, really, and I had another special guest, and I'm so sorry, but I know, and I apologize, and I'm going to share her with you another time, hopefully next week if she can make it, I really want to leave you with this, guys, because I told you my vision and my mission here on this earth is to help women come back to the truth of who they are before they thought they were less than, period. Especially before they thought they were less than due to a number on the scale. And I want to leave you with this quote. The authentic self is the soul made visible. And that's by Sarah Bon Brethnon. Holy Hannah. Sarah Bon Brethnon. And I'm butchering her name, I'm sure. The authentic self is the soul made visible. You are not meant to hide. You are meant to thrive. You are not meant to be in baggy clothes. You're meant to be in beautiful, beautiful outfits that make you feel gorgeous. You are not meant to have your life stolen with food and dieting. You're meant to be in joy and pleasure and to show up authentically in your life. And you heard from two gorgeous women that are doing that, positively impacting all of those around them. But they started with themselves. And as a result, what changed? Their entire world around them. The transformation you seek is already within you. It just needs to be made visible. And my mission is to be the one to guide you to that, should you give me the honor of doing that. If you are resonating with what I'm talking about, then now is your time to enroll in Weight Loss for Life. It is my signature program. I run it one time a year. It's 9 months. It is a lasting weight loss solution, and it will be the best investment that you have ever made. And it will truly, truly transform your body and your life for the better. And for all of you that are sitting there going, well, I can do this on my own. I'll just read a book. I'll just stick in the Done with Dieting community. Guys, you have no time to waste. You have lost many years. And I don't mean to say it that way, but I'm really going to. I wasted decades too, to be exact. I would have done anything to have found me. I have the formula. I am here offering the answer to you that you've been asking for. This is your time. Don't pass it up, because I have had all the women that have signed up this year so far are the women that I spoke to last year that didn't say yes to themselves and spent a whole nother year in pain and came to me with more weight on, feeling more like a failure. Don't let that be you. Commit, say yes, just show up and have the time of your life. It is something you will never regret, I promise you. It's like a good workout. You're never going to regret it, but you will regret the times that you said no. So that's what I want to leave you with. Again, the authentic self is the soul made visible. I just love that. It like lights me up. If you have questions and you want to talk to me, talk to us on my team, and you just want to make sure and see if this is the right fit and you have questions, please email support@melissakathryn.com and let me know. And if you're sitting there going, I want this, but I'm worried about the money, we have payment plans. It is an investment. I'm not going to sit here. This is not a $39 a month program. It's not because we give you online support, in-person support, private coaching, group coaching, and a community, along with endless resources, recipes, guides. We do have food guides. You are not just blind in there. Hypnosis, meditations, visualizations. There's a ton. And we take you through a very specific formula and you are fully supported. So if this is what you're ready for, even if you're not ready, but you're sitting there going, I know that I should do this and I'm freaked out, then you know it's in your gut. You feel it. Say yes. Say yes. You won't regret it. And trust me, I will believe in you until you believe in yourself. And we're not in there for the numbers. So we don't let you hide. So if you're sitting there going, I've done programs but I've never followed through, we don't let you do that. We make you follow through. It's like Wedding Crashers, and she's like, I'll find you. Like, I will find you. The Weight Loss for Life coaches will find you. So, we support you in every facet possible. And it's a blast. Did these women look unhappy tonight? No. You know what? It's called freedom. And it doesn't take long to get you there. But it's a 9-month program because I want you to stay there and I want to see you through the holidays. I want to see you through summer. I want to see you through all of it. And summer is coming. How do you want to feel? Where do you want to be next year? Do you want to be that woman in the mirror that you saw in the visualization? Or do you want to be wondering about what it would have been like if you would have said yes? Right? I so hope that I'll see you, and stay tuned for next week's webinar. Make sure to register. You have to re-register and sign up, and then that way you can get the replay, and if you're not on the list. So Weight Loss for Life is only open for enrollment for a few more weeks. Don't hesitate, ladies, and make sure to apply now to be one of those special 5. I'm telling you, it is priceless to get that special one-on-one time with me. Trust me. I am good at what I do, girl. All right. Thank you so much for being here. If there are any questions, I know, Linda, I cannot wait for you. Oh my God, I'm so excited. Jen, okay. Who would I be? Perfect, Jennifer. I'm loving that you posted everything. Any questions? I'm just trying to go back through here. I have to give a shout out to my girl, Laura. I'm so sorry, girl. I had no idea this was going to be almost 2 hours. I will make sure next week we go much faster. And I just want to thank you all for your time. I just want to see if there are any questions I'm missing. Okay. Thank you so much, guys. I love you all. Have a beautiful night. And I hope that this spoke to you. Was this good? Let me know in the comments. Did you have any questions? Did you want me to go deeper into something? Are you excited for next week's webinar? I hope so, because I will just say on here, next week, in case you are wondering, next week is end overeating, the exact steps that I took to stop overeating and break the pattern for good without dieting like crazy. So ending overeating is week 2. Be there, same time, same place, and let's have some fun. Can't wait to see you in a Done with Dieting group, and head on over to Weight Loss for Life. Get signed up, guys. The time is now. Mwah.